third time this escalator has broken down this week.
You think they would actually work and not just sit there looking good? Damn.
Tell me about it. Now with all the damage out there, I doubt we're gonna see any increase in funding anytime soon.
Looks like the only thing escalating are those damn riots. This whole city is going to shit. You think they would actually work and not just sit there looking good? Damn.
I don't agree with you on this.
I'm not getting hot. It just frustrates me how some of you pro-humanists act so superior. Like you have all the answers to every ethical question ever posed.
Well, who are you to think you can just turn yourself into robots, abuse drugs, and then think you can function freely in our society?
You and that asshole Taggart? Just try to take away my freedom and see what happens.
He wants to limit you. He wants the government to have...
Some people just need to calm down.
Sorry, but I need to finish this discussion. These humanity front nuts are a bunch of smug sons of bitches.
I'm not the kind of person who argues in public.
Rioters are tearing the city apart.
How he's going to convince you this is really what you want? With fear. He's already started. Look outside. In our streets. Who do you think whipped up that frenzy? And I don't blame them. I blame people like Taggart. People who are constantly trying to divide us by our differences instead of uniting us by our similarities. Listen, I've been a victim of this anti-Aug backlash. I was attacked simply
I just can't
for
subscribe
having
to
these
Taggart's
limited
Neanderthal opinions.
by people who
It's
are
like he
not
thinks human
authentic,
development is a
people with an
sin.
axe to grind.
I can't believe there are still people out there with such backward mentalities.
This UN resolution he wants passed is persecution, plain and simple.
Agreed. He loves to claim over and over again what a peaceful organization Humanity Front is. But just look outside. In a non-direct way, he's promoting this kind of reaction.
Well, there have always been nuts like Taggart trying to stop human progress. By the end of the day, the human need to explore always wins out. He'll be a relic in no time.
I hope you're right. I'm just wondering when Hugh Darrow is going to come out of his shell and take a position. It seems like this whole resolution is on hold until he speaks up. Are you for or against human enhancement? I think everyone has the right to their opinion, but bigots like Taggart shouldn't be given a soapbox to stand on.
The convention center has been quiet all night. I expect it to stay that way, understand?
Jensen, don't know how welcome someone like you will be in here. Watch your step. Taggart's got some of his own handling security. Can't say I like the way they look, though.
Do you know how he's going to influence legislation? How he's going to convince you this is really what you want?
I tried to get close and talk to Mr. Taggart.
He's already
Security
started.
guys are pretty intimidating.
Look outside. In our streets. Who do you think whipped up that frenzy? And I don't blame them. I blame people like Taggart. People who are constantly trying to divide us by our differences instead of uniting us by our similarities.
House flat is posted.
Yeah. Backstage area is completely blocked off. Even the janitor can't get back there now.
What about the air vents?
You're kidding, right? Have you seen the size of those vents? You expect a contortionist or midget is going to try to assassinate Taggart?
Don't get smart. Got a pass? Okay, you're good. Just don't stand around, please.
The press conference is still going on.
I hope you're just here to listen. Although Mr. Taggart is done with his speech already.
Human evolution is a fantasy, but that is exactly what I am telling you. As a world...
Where's your sidekick, Taggart? 6 months ago, Seraph Industries was attacked by mercenaries whose objective was to cripple our research. But I've learned the attack was just a smokescreen. Megan Reed's team was kidnapped, and Isaiah Sandoval, your personal aide, was involved.
That is ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Mr. Jensen's intrusion, and I assure you that these accusations are without basis.
Are they?
This is Sandoval. Why are you calling me here?
There's been a change of plans. Seraph's team must not make it to the hearing.
But that's too soon. If you want me to remove the GPLs, I'll need a full operating suite. Does the facility have one?
That's your man, Taggart. Talking about removing implanted GPL devices so that the people who took Seraph scientists could cover it up.
I see what's going on here. Seraph Industries has received 2 black eyes in the last few days. The first, due to the shocking news coming out of Montreal that biotech companies are secretly participating in unethical super soldier experiments. And the second, as a result of their violent escalation of today's peaceful protest. David Seraph and his corporate bedfellows are desperate and in imminent danger of losing the regulation vote, so this man has been sent here to attack my reputation.
I'm right here, Taggart. Look at me. I admit, I wouldn't feel bad if your reputation was damaged in front of the press, since you've been doing the same to my colleagues for years, but that's not why I'm here. Seraph scientists are alive, and it's time for the truth to come out.
The truth, Mr. Jensen, is that this recording of yours proves nothing. It could have been made by anyone in the world with a grudge against Humanity Front, and you are our prime suspect.
You're right, it's not enough to get a conviction. But it's enough for a search warrant. That's all I want, Taggart. Why are you standing in the way?
I'm not. I'm trying to protect... Look, Mr. Jensen. If you play that recording for the police, at best, they'll dismiss it. At worst, they'll tell you to seek counseling. So, why are you really here? We all know you suffered a terrible tragedy in the attack on Seraph Industries. Why can't you put it behind you?
The reason I'm obsessed with the past, Taggart, is that there are still 5 people missing, and their attackers haven't paid for what they did. Your refusal to help me is getting in the way of justice.
Wait! I never meant to imply that I wasn't interested in seeing justice done. As you know, I was a practicing psychologist before I devoted my life to ending the threat of augmentation. And I've seen this kind of behavior before. You're confused. You consider me your enemy, and you think the only way you can regain control is to defeat me in some way. You're wrong, I'm afraid.
You want to talk about control, Taggart? Let's talk about yours. It takes a lot of discipline to stand up in front of the press every time a pro-augmentation company or clinic is assaulted and then deny responsibility. How does it feel to know your people are so out of control they would resort to violence like that?
How does it feel? Of course, it's terrible. But When I founded Humanity Front, I dedicated the organization to the memory of my wife Marjorie, who died trying to help a man addicted to augmentation surgery come to terms with his illness. Marjorie refused to resort to violence. So why would any member of this group do otherwise? We are simply not those kind of people. I wish I could make you see that, but I fear you are unable to comprehend nonviolent solutions.
What happened to your wife was tragic. But what's happening to Sarif's scientist is going on right now, and you have a chance to do something about it. You have nothing to lose if Sandoval's innocent. And if he isn't, you can preserve your reputation by helping me. Why won't you do that?
Because I just can't believe Isaiah would be guilty of this, but you're right. Whether he's guilty or not, I have to get to the truth. Marjorie would want it that way. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but I'm going to have to beg your indulgence for a few moments more. If you will all please remain patient, I will return as soon as I can. Thank you. Mr. Jensen, I'll see you backstage.
Just stay away from Mr. Taggart, and everything will be fine.
Keeping a safe environment and an ethical approach to research at all times. We invite critics and members of the UN
Don't
to
make any
tour
sudden moves,
our
sir,
facilities
especially around Mr.
firsthand.
Taggart.
They will find nothing
Just give me an
but order,
excuse. I'll
progress,
keep those hands as
and
trophies.
moral responsibility.
Looks as if the ball is now firmly in the United Nations court. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you live from Picus. Thousands of angry rioters took to the streets in several cities this evening.
I hope you're just here to
after
listen.
viewing controversial
Although
satellite
Mr. Taggart
footage uncovered
is done
by
with his speech
Picus.
already.
Detroit, Toronto.
I hope you're not here to disturb Mr. Taggart.
All
That would be a
report
mistake.
violent clashes taking place outside the doors of such well-known biotechnology firms as Kusanagi, Isole, and Sarif Industries. The footage sparking the riots appears to show scientists performing crude, torture-like experiments on teams of augmented super soldiers.
Mr. Jensen, I appreciate you allowing me to deal with this in a more discreet manner.
Save it, Taggart. You've wasted enough of my time as it is. Now where's Sandoval?
He has an apartment he uses when in this city, on Grand River Road. He mentioned he was feeling very run down, so I can only assume he went there.
I see.
He's not an evil man, Mr. Jensen. If he's done what you say, it's only because of his brother, Ezekiel. A man you might know better as Zeke Sanders.
Sanders? The man who attacked Sarif's manufacturing plant?
I knew nothing about it until after it was over, and then I tried. I tried to convince Isaiah not to follow in his footsteps.
Good job.
Mr. Jensen, please. Isaiah has done so much for so many needy people, people suffering from implant rejection. Promise me you will deal with him fairly.
That all depends on Isaiah.
I understand, but please try. I've told you all I know, Mr. Jensen. Isaiah has an apartment on Grand River Road.
I want the world to know that we at Taiyong Medical have not and never will condone. yourself on maintaining a safe environment and an ethical approach to research at all times. We invite critics and members of the UN to tour our facilities firsthand. They will find nothing but war.
What's going on out there?
Police clear the streets.
I heard they were pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I heard that too. I'm happy we don't have to go out there.
Amen to that. All right, I'm gonna go back and make sure no one's sneaking around the halls.
Don't make any sudden moves, sir, especially around Mr. Taggart.